Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith Dream Create, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a Bible journaling page with you for the upcoming Easter weekend. So this Bible page is Easter themed with the cross and Jesus. So let's get right into it and create this page. So I will be using the stamp set He is Risen from Simon Hurley. I used a few elements from this stamp set last year on my channel, but I'm excited to pull this stamp set out and use a few more elements and create with it in my illustrating Bible. So I'm going to be using the Simon Hurley stamping block. This is his bigger one, and I'm going to ink up this cross with some VersaFine Onyx black ink. Because I'm going to be doing some watercoloring, I'm going to bring the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils out. I have been using them a ton on some cards, but I was excited to go ahead and use it in my illustrating Bible and see how that went. And then, as you can see, it didn't stamp perfectly, but I'm going to go in with a black pen and just fix the lines there as we go. And then I'm stamping the Risen from the stamp set as well, and then I'll add some more sentiments in here at the end. But first we're going to watercolor and fix this little mistake here and make it look better. I just looked at the stamp and fixed the lines as best I could, and then I can go ahead and get to the watercoloring. So the Bible verse that I am focusing on here and just kind of reflecting on is Luke 24:6-7. So it is, He is not here, He has risen. So that's why I have the word risen at the top. Remember how He told you, while He was still with you in Galilee, the Son of Man must be delivered over to the hands of sinners, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again. So we have the cross. I'm watercoloring the cross. And Easter is all about Jesus and the sacrifice that He made on that cross. He came to save us at Christmas, and He came to be a part of the Easter story later. Jesus' coming didn't stop at Christmas. His story continues, and He had to come to the cross to save us from our sins and to give us forgiveness and to give us peace. But it didn't stop at the cross. He didn't just stay dead. He is risen. He conquered death for us, and we can have a relationship with Him because of that, and we have forgiveness because of that. And it's just a beautiful story, and the sacrifice that He made for us upon that cross. And you're going to see as I continue to create that I add some other traditions to this Bible journaling page. We've made it not about the cross in a lot of ways. Even Christmas, there's all these other traditions that are not necessarily Christian. So with Easter, you have cute chicks and springtime festivities and Easter bunnies and chocolate eggs and chocolate bunnies and all of these different traditions. Those are okay. Those things are definitely okay. And I like to decorate my home, and there's definitely bunnies and carrots and chocolate bunnies, and we have all the fun with our kids. We do the Easter egg hunts and Easter baskets and all of those, and those things are okay, but they shouldn't take away from what Easter is truly about. What is Easter truly about? Jesus is the reason for this season, and at Easter too, not just at Christmas. We can have fun with these different traditions, but let's point to Jesus this holiday season. And remember, it says in the Bible verse, remember how He told you when He was still with you in Galilee. The Son of Man must be delivered over to the hands of sinners, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again. So remember, this is what He did for us at the cross. And by rising again, these sinners that turned him over, he forgave them. He did this for them, and he did this for everybody. Everybody that would ever be. So us. Anybody who is watching this video or who's not watching this video, he did this for everyone. To forgive them and release them from their sin. That doesn't mean we're not going to sin again, but because of his sacrifice on the cross, we can be with God again. We can have a relationship with him and go to him in our sin and ask for forgiveness. And just have that relationship with him and pray and be with God. And it's just such a beautiful sacrifice and a beautiful thing that Jesus did. Even though it's definitely not a easy thing, and it probably wasn't beautiful, and because it's a horrible thing that he had to endure, but the aftermath of it and the reason behind it and what changed when Jesus did this is the beautiful part, because he changed everything by doing this on the cross. And that's, yeah. And once we start adding the words in, I just think it's so powerful. The sentiments in this stamp set are so powerful. I don't have the stamp set in front of me right now, but there's so many different sentiments in this. You could go so many different angles. But I love the words that I end up putting down, because I just feel like it really, really reflects this verse, and that he is not here. Because, yeah. So, we will talk a little bit more about how the words that I put later reflect on this verse. But first, I'm just using the grain sentiment, or the grainy cross, to add some elements in with some oxide inks. And I really love how this just brought everything together and gave more dimension to the cross, I think. Gave it that 3D effect. Made it leap off the page. And I do go back in a little bit. I was not completely happy with the effect of the wood grain stamp, but I like it now, and I can move on to a few different elements on this page. So this is a stamp set by Gina K Designs. I do not believe it is available any longer, but if it is, I will link to it, or I'm sure there's something similar out there. You can grab out any silhouette bunny stamp. So I'm just making some chocolate bunnies on some scrap paper, and I'm going to just reverse this stamp set as well. You do stamp out two the same way, but I'm like, no, I want to have one the other way. So I just honestly reversed it. Because it's a silhouette, I was able to stamp it quickly and get the reverse side, because I'm going to put these bunnies on either side of the cross just for fun. I definitely do this in my decor. I found these little plastic chocolate bunnies that come apart, and you can put eggs inside and use them for an Easter egg hunt. But I just think they are so cute. I picked up a bunch, and I subtly put them around my decor and on my coffee tiered tray, and it just looks really fun, and they almost look real. So I wanted to bring that in to this cross, bring in the elements of the Easter traditions that are not necessarily Christian, and just do a fun Bible journaling page, because why not? So I'm cutting out the bunnies, and then I'm going to add some more fun elements to this. So I felt like I was losing the bunnies. I felt like they needed a little bit more dimension and needed to stand out more. So I'm going to be bringing in, and I do have some googly eyes here before we outline these guys. So I have these little googly eyes in my stash of stash of sequins, and so I had to go ahead and use them. It was super exciting. So I'm just using a brown Spectrum Noir marker that is darker than the bunnies, and outlining these guys just to make them stand out and pop, and that will be the bunnies. And then I will add in the eyes. I was just experimenting on the scrap bunny that I had done the other way just to see if I wanted to add any highlights in, but I definitely didn't want to do that, and I did not decide to do that. So now I am going to glue these bunnies down. I'm using the Bearly Art glue to do this, and then I will add in those little itty bitty googly eyes to just make these bunnies come to life a little bit more. And to cut the bunnies out, I was using the Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail Scissors. I really like them, and I'll have them linked down below with all of the other supplies that I used in today's video that I can link to as well. The supply list is always down below in the description box when you are watching my videos. So now I'm going to pull out some more sentiments from this stamp set. There's a bunch of Bible verses and just one words and all of that. And I'm using the Simon Hurley stamping platform again, and I'm going to stamp Death Couldn't Hold Him. And then it says Risen, which I already stamped out and watercolored, and then later on, after I stamp this, I'm going to stamp Indeed. So it's going to say, Death could not hold him, risen indeed. So that totally goes with this verse, and that he is not here, he has risen. Death could not hold him because he needed to be delivered over to the hands of sinners, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again. Death could not hold him. He did not stay dead. 3 days later, he rose again, so that we could be forgiven, that we could have that relationship with him and have forgiveness and be free with Jesus. And yes, and I also go ahead and stamp Easter blessings from that Gina K stamp set and at the bottom. And then to finish off this page, I go ahead and add some sparkly pops of color to all of the background and just a few areas here and there. I felt like it needed a little bit more. This step was totally not necessary, but I really like how it turned out. It brought like another element, and I love the little bit of self-sparkle and dimension in this page as well. And yeah, ignore my messy desk that you've been seeing throughout the video. This Bible is really big, and I have to zoom in and out to get some good angles for you. So that is that. I have been creating Easter projects and haven't had time to clean up my desk. So my desk is a disaster, or it was when I was filming this, but this is the Bible journaling page. I'm going to zoom out and show you a close-up and then scan the page to show you the finished page. So this is going to finish up today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I share mostly card making videos, a few do-it-yourself projects, and Bible journaling. I'm hoping to bring Bible journaling back to my channel at least once a week. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Happy Easter.